Have you ever wondered why some people seem to make better decisions than others? Why certain individuals can see opportunities where others see obstacles? The secret isn't necessarily intelligence or experience. It's something called mental models. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful concepts for improving your thinking: mental models. By the end of this video, you'll understand what mental models are, why they're crucial for better decision-making, and how you can start building your own collection of thinking tools. Let's get started. So, what exactly is a mental model? Simply put, a mental model is a representation of how something works. It's a framework or concept that helps you understand and navigate the world around you. Think of them as thinking tools, shortcuts your brain uses to process information and make decisions. Here's the thing: whether you realize it or not, you're already using mental models every single day. When you look at dark clouds and think, "It's going to rain," you're using a mental model. When you understand that being rude to people tends to make them less cooperative, that's a mental model too. But most of us operate with a limited set of models, often ones we've picked up unconsciously through experience. The real power comes when you deliberately expand your collection and learn to apply the right model at the right time. Think of it like this: if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. But when you have a full toolbox, a saw, a screwdriver, pliers, a level, you can handle a much wider range of problems effectively. Mental models work the same way. The more high-quality models you have, the better equipped you are to understand complex situations and make smarter decisions. Now you might be thinking, okay, but why should I care about this? I'm doing fine with my current way of thinking. Here's why mental models matter. First, they improve your decision-making. Every day, you make hundreds of decisions, from small ones like what to eat for breakfast to major ones like which career path to pursue. Mental models give you frameworks to evaluate options more effectively. They help you see beyond surface-level information and understand the deeper principles at play. Second, they help you avoid costly mistakes. Many of our biggest errors come from using the wrong mental model, or from not recognizing when our usual way of thinking doesn't apply. By expanding your toolkit, you reduce blind spots and can better identify when you're making flawed assumptions. Third, they accelerate learning. When you understand the underlying models in a field, you can learn new things much faster. Instead of memorizing isolated facts, you're building on fundamental principles that connect and reinforce each other. And fourth, they improve communication and collaboration. When you can articulate the models you're using, it's easier to explain your thinking to others and understand theirs. This is invaluable in team settings, relationships, and any situation where people need to align on a shared understanding. The most successful people in business, science, and life tend to be those who've mastered thinking across multiple disciplines and can apply the right mental model to any situation they face. Key mental models you should know. Let's look at some powerful mental models that can transform your thinking. I'm going to share 5 that I believe everyone should have in their toolkit. Our first mental model: first principles. Thinking: this is the practice of breaking down complicated problems into basic elements and then reassembling them from the ground up. Instead of relying on assumptions or conventional wisdom, this approach involves questioning every assumption and rebuilding understanding from scratch to foster innovative solutions. Elon Musk is famous for using this. When everyone said electric cars were too expensive, he didn't accept that. He broke down the materials needed for a battery and realized the raw materials cost far less than the finished batteries. This led to innovations that made Tesla viable. You can apply this to anything. Why does this process take so long? Don't accept the answer because that's how we do it. Break it down to basics and rebuild it better. Our second mental model, inversion. This is the practice of thinking backwards. Instead of asking, "How do I succeed?" you ask, "What would guarantee my failure?" Then avoid those things. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's legendary business partner, swears by this. He says, "All I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there." Want a successful relationship? Instead of just thinking about what makes relationships work, list everything that destroys them. Dishonesty, taking someone for granted, poor communication. Then systematically avoid those behaviors. It sounds simple, but inversion helps you see blind spots you will completely miss with forward-only thinking. Our third mental model, second-order thinking. Most people stop at first-order consequences, the immediate, obvious effects of a decision. Second-order thinking asks, and then what? What happens next? Here's an example. A company decides to cut costs by reducing its customer service staff. The first-order consequence? They save money. Great, right? But second-order consequences are disastrous. Customer satisfaction drops, negative reviews increase, fewer new customers sign up, and existing customers start to leave. The long-term cost far exceeds the short-term savings. This model helps you avoid solutions that fix one problem but create even bigger ones down the line. Always ask yourself, and then what? Our fourth mental model, the circle of competence. This idea, popularized by Warren Buffett, is about knowing what you know, and, more importantly, knowing what you don't know. Everyone has areas where they have deep understanding and areas where they don't. Your circle of competence is where your knowledge is strong and reliable. Successful people stay within this circle for important decisions, and they're brutally honest about its boundaries. The key isn't having the biggest circle, it's knowing precisely where the edges are. When you operate outside your competence without recognizing it, that's when you make your worst decisions. You can always expand your circle over time, but you must always know where you currently stand. And finally, number 5 is opportunity cost. Every choice you make means saying no to something else. The true cost of any decision isn't just the money or time you spend, it's what you give up by not choosing the next best alternative. When you spend 3 hours scrolling on social media, the cost isn't just 3 hours. It's the book you didn't read, the skill you didn't practice, the relationship you didn't invest in, or the business idea you didn't work on. Understanding opportunity cost helps you make trade-offs more deliberately. Before saying yes to anything, ask yourself, what am I saying no to by making this choice? So, how do you actually build your collection of mental models? Step 1 is to learn broadly across disciplines. The best mental models often come from outside your own field. Read widely: psychology, economics, physics, biology, history. Each discipline has powerful frameworks you can borrow. Charlie Munger calls this building a latticework of mental models. The models from different fields interconnect and reinforce each other, giving you a much richer understanding of how things work. Step 2 is to study the fundamentals. Focus on the big, foundational ideas that have stood the test of time. These tend to be more useful than trendy concepts that might become outdated. Look for principles that apply across multiple contexts. If something only works in one narrow situation, it's not a true mental model. It's just a specific technique. Step 3 is to practice applying them. Knowledge without application is useless. When facing a problem or decision, consciously ask yourself, which mental model applies here? What framework would help me think about this more clearly? It can be helpful to keep a journal where you document situations and which models you used or could have used. This deliberate practice is how models move from intellectual concepts to instinctive thinking tools. And step 4. Learn from your mistakes. When things go wrong, do a post-mortem. What model were you using? Was it the wrong model, or did you apply it incorrectly? What would a better approach have been? Your failures are often your best teachers for improving your mental models. Let's wrap this up. Mental models are the frameworks that shape how you see and interact with the world. They're the difference between reacting to life and thoughtfully navigating it, between making decisions based on surface-level information and understanding the deeper principles at play. The beautiful thing about mental models is that building this skill is available to everyone. You don't need a fancy degree or special access, just curiosity, a commitment to learning, and the discipline to think more carefully. Start small. Pick 1 or 2 models from today's video and consciously look for opportunities to apply them this week. Notice when you could use first principles thinking instead of accepting conventional wisdom. Practice inversion on a problem you're facing. Calculate the opportunity cost of how you're spending your time. Over time, these models will become second nature. They will change not just how you think, but the quality of your decisions and, ultimately, the trajectory of your life. Remember, the goal isn't to memorize 100 different models. It's to internalize a core set of high-quality frameworks that you can reliably apply when it matters most. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on thinking better and making smarter decisions. Drop a comment below with your favorite mental model, or one you'd like me to cover in a future video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.